Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we recap the world of whiskey for the first quarter of 2023. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Luke Otero, Darren McRoy, and Tim Swiat.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey, everybody. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun today. Q1 in the books, and what does whiskey look like so far in 2023? Q1 is definitely the slowest part of the year for whiskey, but we'll see what were some highlights from that time of the year, and we'll get to that, of course, after the break. For right now, Darren said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Darren?
So, I had a little bit of an argument the other day. Because I was a little bit drunk and nothing else should come of this, but now we're bringing it up now. So, what is everyone's favorite fruit? Your least favorite fruit?
Favorite and least favorite. Okay.
Fruit?
Fruit, yes. What's your favorite fruit? What's your least favorite? My favorite fruit is blueberries, particularly when they come from Maine. I just feel like when you get good ones, and there's a lot of bad ones. Like when I go buy them at the grocery store in St. Louis, they're bad. But when I get good ones,
are these from Maine?
Well, there's a difference.
If they're not, I don't want them anymore.
That's exactly in my head. That's how I sound. That's how I sound.
It's the exact same thing as, bourbon has to be made in Kentucky, Steve. Come on now.
It's not the same thing.
Is this Kentucky? Okay.
Okay, these are made in Maine.
So Maine blueberries, and then what's your least?
My least favorite, and I'm gonna throw in a category. It's sad I don't like this, but I don't like the melon family, the honeydews, cantaloupe, or watermelon. Yeah. I don't like any of those.
They suck. They're at the bottom.
I don't like them at all. People love those, but not me.
What's your fucking opinion then, Tim?
Yeah, Tim, what do you like and dislike?
Well,
do you like bananas? Are you a big banana guy?
No, that's my least favorite is banana.
Okay.
No, the peaches are from Georgia, specifically Eastern Georgia, from the lowlands, then the low country. Then I will definitely partake in that.
Said blueberries and not specified.
That fruit's
is
delicacy.
It peaches?
I love peaches, man. Give me peaches all day long. Yes. I put them on the grill, cut them up, put them on the grill, flash a little bourbon, have them skin down, have them curl up a little bit, then I flip it over, let that thing flare, caramelize all that in there, throw it with some vanilla ice cream all day long. But yeah, bananas, I can't stand bananas.
I don't like bananas. Okay. I like bananas. I like bananas. I'm okay with that. I don't know. It's just the damn melons. I don't like those. Yeah.
I love melons.
I thought you were a big melon fan, if you know what I mean.
That's what I was going. I enjoy melons.
That's why it hurts so much. That's why it hurts so much. That's why, yeah.
Well, take the late staff. We'll be here all week.
Okay. Luke, help us out here.
All right. I think this is a good time for me to say something. My least favorite fruit is, because I do not have good luck in pears. It seems like every I get is dry,
it's mushy, and yeah.
But they're good. They're really good. When they're bad, they're so bad.
That's what I mean. So I'd rather not throw the dice and
right.
So,
okay, I can see that.
But my
They're
favorite,
they're lower on my list too, so that's I get it.
but my favorite, and I could eat them year round, and is strawberries.
Strawberries, yeah, yes. Though you have to get good strawberries. I don't know what state has the good strawberries. When you get them good, man, they're good. They taste like
They have to be fresh from the vine, picked from
Sometimes-
my mother's strawberry patch out by the lake cabin when there's a
Sometimes they don't have any flavor.
cool breeze coming
I don't-
from the lake.
I
All
don't like
And
to bite
you
into
get
it.
it's in
$20,000
Central California.
Strawberries from Japan.
Some of the worst ones are the ones that look the best on the produce shelf, but then you bite into it, it's like this has no taste.
Have you taken them off off of an actual plant before, Steve?
Oh yeah, my mom did have strawberry things, and
Good.
you could get
Right off.
that. Of course, I think they don't go to school as long anymore. I went into June, and that's when it would be strawberry season. Man, every morning I go out and pick my strawberry breakfast before going to school. And late in the year, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Go.
Fresh strawberries are the best. Yeah, I like that. Becca, how about you? You've been very critical. I can't wait to hear what you like when it comes to fruit versus what you don't like.
I'm a big fruit supporter.
Okay.
I'm hard pressed to find a fruit that I actually dislike, especially when it is appropriately ripe. When it's like an actual good, like ripe, like perfectly ripe fruit. Almost all fruit is good.
Right.
I personally like the watermelons. I'm not a honeydew person. I don't really think honeydews are very good. I like a good cantaloupe, but a really perfect watermelon when you're hungover and you're like, and you'd cut it up and you're like eating it from the fridge and it's cold and you're just like, oh, this is just nectar. And I'm like hydrating is like how you feel. And like, you can just crush it into like you're like, I know what I want that into something. You can just crush it into any sort of cocktail too, and just throw some liquor in there to assist with that hangover. And it's just fresh, beautiful watermelon. And also kiwis. I love kiwis. I can just sit down and just eat the daylights out of kiwis, and they're good for you too. So I just like eat the daylights out of kiwis. If I'm going to pick a fruit, the jackfruit. Now, I hear that they're not that good, so we'll go with the jackfruit.
Poor jackfruit. Yeah.
Kiwis. I'm down on kiwis, especially they have to be cut for me because they look too much like another body part on
Exactly.
a male body.
Because
That
they
I
look
just
like
can't do
balls, Tim.
They look like balls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
I
look
don't
like
them either. They
balls,
look like
so you don't want to
balls.
eat them.
No,
Is that why you don't
they
like
look
bananas?
like Botox nuts. They really do. Look like they've been injected with Botox. They look like
They look like ones that would hang very low.
Cut them
They would
in
hang
half.
very low. Yeah.
And you eat the sweet, beautiful insides of that thing. I'm gonna start calling them Rocky Mountain fruit.
Okay.
Rocky Mountain oysters. But
Heard it here.
Aaron, you asked this crazy question, and it turned out to be a good one, I guess. What's your
So
favorite?
my favorite, I'm not going to discriminate by putting the state title in front of it. I'll eat them from Southern Illinois. I'll eat them from Georgia. I love peaches. Peaches are phenomenal.
The fuzz
Can't
doesn't
never
get
go
to you.
wrong
I don't
with
like the
peaches.
fuzz. I don't like the fuzz in those.
You don't eat the fuzz.
Okay, but I
Well,
see people bite
I'll
into them and eat
boil
it
them
though.
and
They
take
bite
off
in
the
it and eat
fuzz.
it like an apple, and I was like, I don't like that. But I do. I love the inside. Yeah, the peach is good. You peel that
Bulbs
skin
that
off
have
there. It's
fuzz
great.
on them, so that they didn't taste good. That means the inside's good. Same thing with kiwis. Inside's great because the outside's fuzzy.
Yeah.
Porcupines gotta
perfect.
taste good. Because
I know the
outside's
type of guy
spiky.
Darren is now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What
Anyway.
don't you like then?
Least favorite. On no occasion are they good, even if you get the best ones from Maine, supposedly blueberries. They're just
What
so
the fuck
many
are you
other
talking
berries
about?
are better.
That's terrible. You don't know what you're
Aaron,
talking
you know you're still interviewing for a job, right?
about. Yeah. He's never had a Maine blueberry. That's
I
the
don't
thing.
care if they're from Maine.
He's
I
never
don't
had one
fucking
from
like
Maine.
them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get it because a lot of times they're just tart, they're gritty, but that's not what you get when you go to Maine. And then they taste like, wow, I don't know, whatever you say, blueberry tastes like blueberry chewing gum, whatever you
Like a
think
blueberry.
that
Tastes like
is,
blueberry.
whatever that crazy taste is that we associate with blueberries, that's what Maine blueberries taste like. That's
Something
But
I
for me,
appreciate
it's
about
all the other berries are just better. Everything else with berry in
think
the
so.
name.
I wish I could say that, but I really enjoy raspberries up until I'm like sitting there and I'm eating the raspberries and I look and then I just see like a worm inside of one of them and I'm
right,
like,
yeah.
I would have liked to not see that. I should have
Your
just not,
protein.
I should have just not looked and just ate the worms instead.
By the way, I'm the only one who offered up a fruit that's loaded with antioxidants, something that is good for you.
kiwis.
Strawberries.
I don't think kiwis and strawberries are loaded with
Kiwis are very,
antioxidants.
very good for you.
I don't think so. I don't think they have antioxidants. I don't think they.
That's the only reason you like the blueberry. That's the only thing you know about
It's
one.
not a bad thing.
Steve.
That's just an old man answer now.
Okay, I like
That's an old man
acai
answer.
berries. Those are antioxidants.
Those
right?
are antioxidant. I like those too.
I
do
like
those.
pomegranates too.
Yeah.
Those are great for you. Those are
I
antioxidants.
love me some palm juice. Wow.
I do like palm juice.
Antioxidants.
I do
Hey,
like pomegranates too, except for
so
they're
hard
so
to eat.
fucking
They'd be
annoying.
great, but they are just impossible. You have to. Spend
I made
20
it to
minutes get-
55. I've made it to 55 eating blueberries from Maine. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
why you've made it to 55.
I think that's why I've made it to 55. Yeah.
Huh.
I think so.
Well, let that be
You heard it
known.
here first, Steve.
Yep.
You eat blueberries, you're gonna live a long time.
If,
That's all it is.
if you
There you
want
go.
to,
You can be as healthy as me out there.
So when the general
Start eating Maine
switches
blueberries.
from Maine blueberries to made in Colorado, Steve, I'd start worrying. Blink twice if you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just remember that.
Exactly. Well,
the blueberry
note.
man.
on that note, yes. Yeah. My goal is one day where I just get rich enough where I make Luke an offer. I want to. Do they do hair transplants? Because I want Luke's hair. Luke has the best
know.
hair. I've talked about this for years. I want Luke's hair.
Him and Tim kind of look the same right now.
Tim
with
does
their
have-
hairs,
yeah,
though. Like they
yeah.
got that nice.
That
I think-
mane that
Flow.
Luke exudes, I'll tell you. It's
It's fantastic.
that mane brings all the girls to the
Flowing.
yard.
It's flowing. Yeah.
It's-
Darren's is
it-
too over the top. Darren's got really long hair, but
It is
no,
kinda
Luke's got it going on. It's just
Yeah.
enough where it can look disheveled like I've been working all day. Like if I had that hair, I would have it like slicked back when I'm like going out, so everybody would be like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I would have it like disheveled when I'm trying to be like, "I've been busy working today." I mean, that hair would be perfect for me. I could do
yeah.
so much with Luke's
Luke
hair.
does a little head cock every now and then.
yeah,
too.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
My hair's in my face. Hold on.
Luke's is also like perfectly salt and peppered, where like Tim's is like
Yes.
just getting white at this point.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah,
Tim's-
no,
Like
yeah.
you don't have
I'll
any
be
gray
fully
hair,
white in
Tim.
3
You
years.
have white.
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
Luke has got actual gray,
Oh yeah.
like pretty different,
Yeah.
like differentiation.
I think I look pretty good for 82.
Michael Douglas X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the flowing hair. That's just it is quite an impressive pompadour you got going.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
He know. I feel like he knows it. He's a very humble man, but I bet you at the end of the day, he's like, man, this fucking hair looks good. Which I would be. That's how I would be.
Good.
Yeah, it's like, God damn, this hair looks nice. Yeah.
I know I'm having a good hair day today. So
All right. Guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Tim. Tim, you're up first.
Just get me out of the way. We're gonna roll with a last show pour alert. Bottle of Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn.
Blue popcorn. Okay. Nothing there. Beka, you're
It's
next.
just horrible.
I have got a hand dipped bottle of Maker's 46 that I dipped with the legendary Amy Akeley at Maker's Mark on a VIP tour that I've gone on with her twice.
Yes.
The
How
Amy
many people get to
Akeley.
go twice? That's a lot of VIP-ness.
That's a lot of VIP-ness.
not
I've
the
gotten
Amy
that
Akeley
twice.
Yes.
All from
All
your
right.
wife.
Oh yeah.
Got all that VIP-ness from your wife.
Just gobbling it all up.
Steve was too busy eating blueberries.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I got. It's got a cork.
Okay. That's good.
Well done.
That's good. That could be enough. We'll see. Darren, what do you got?
I got Elijah Craig, the release from the first quarter of this year. So
Okay.
Oh,
That was a great pop. A little slosh there.
yeah, a little
Tim,
sloshy. I
We need to get Tim to make a call here. So he had a great pop. Was that better than Beka's, especially when you factor in the slosh factor?
he definitely had a mistake on the landing, but the pop itself, dedicated out, if I isolate that sound, I think is beating out
Okay.
Beka's pop.
Okay.
Yes.
I think so too.
All
Half
right.
of flying the plane is taking it off. Who cares about the landing?
All right. Well, I think the people in the plane probably care, but
Okay, I do.
Yeah. maybe they care. But yes. All right. Darren has the lead. I'm going to go next because I want to. We'll see what happens. I got Peerless. I've got their out of their gift shop the Brulee pick. Brulee. So, all right. Here we go. Nothing there. Darren has the lead. He is at the verge. He's on the doorstep of winning his first ever cork pop on the Bourbon Daily. We'll see what happens, but he's still got to get through Luke. Luke, what do you got?
I've got some Wilderness Trail, the yellow label.
Okay, yellow label. Okay, no, not enough. Darren, you won, man.
Darren, got
Darren,
it.
salute.
Last one.
Congratulations.
Wow. All right. Some
Go on
people wait
Amazon
years
and buy
to
the
do that.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
You're a
get
cork
the
pop champion now.
Cork Pop Champ, get your T-shirt. It took Lenny like 3.5 years to find one. So you've got one early on. So cheers, gang.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about Q1 and what's been going on. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
As Beka said, everybody's bringing trash. I'm stepping up my game with a brand new single barrel from Neely Family Distillery. This is the Autumn Vanilla single barrel.
Nice.
I've already preemptively taken the plastic off, not wasting anybody's time, Beka. And then let's see if this cork pop goes.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Whiskey Q1.
Yes, we are. It is in the books, and let's talk about what's going on. I think the biggest story, only because you're talking about a legendary career. Chris Morris steps aside, becomes master distiller emeritus, and Elizabeth McCall takes over. It doesn't get any bigger.
Q1?
Yeah, that was in Q1. Yeah.
It already feels like 6 months ago.
No, that was
That'd
this
be
year.
Lisa Wicker leaving. That was 6 months ago. That was October.
Yeah, that was October,
Yeah.
but yeah. So.
Okay. Wow.
So that was this year. That's big news, right? I mean,
Massive
every time
news,
you get, Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Famer stepping aside, I think that's got to
Big
be
deal.
one of the big stories.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I mean, it's exciting. I mean, Elizabeth McCall, she's been doing this long enough, over 10 years. So it's not like, you're turning over to a brand new person. And, right away, I heard some people say, well, we won't try her stuff for, 5, 6, 8 years. Bullshit. She's probably got stuff that she's been working on, maybe even had the lead on, because Chris Morris doesn't do everything. That's a big company. I mean, some of the stuff she's done, and in her role as the assistant, she got to lead some things. So we'll be seeing her stuff right away, which is very cool. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think her fingerprints are all over a lot of things that people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
And, I met her 5 years ago at the Kentucky Bourbon Affair, Steve.
Yep.
And she was already waiting in the wings. I mean, Chris brought her along every step of the way, which is smart.
Yep.
And congratulations to her. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah. First show she ever appeared on was the Bourbon Show. We, as soon as she was announced, we got her on the show. She was on with us that same week, with the week it was announced.
Wow,
which is very
nice,
cool.
Steve.
Very cool. Well, we're on it, man.
We're on it.
Yeah, very
Sure.
good. Well, what other things you guys want to pull from the first quarter? What do you think are some exciting things?
Some single malt stuff.
Yes.
Single malt.
That was on my list. A lot of single malt activity. Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, the two biggest in the world, they release single malts. And I think Yellowstone.
Just doing it right.
Yeah, that one is amazing. That to me that's in the talks for whiskey of the year. I haven't actually tried the JD or the Beam. I do want to try those, and those could be in there as well. But I like to do a whiskey of the year, and I can't imagine a scenario where Yellowstone isn't in the mix. It's Fruity Pebbles. It's amazing. If you haven't tried that one yet, folks, try it. It's fantastic. Yeah, really good stuff.
Try it and probably buy a spare is what I would recommend before even leaving the liquor store. Yep.
Yeah. Get one and get a second one, because you're gonna that first one's gonna go quick. You're gonna be drinking through that. So, yeah, Becca brings up a great point. I mean, single malts are gonna be because barrel prices have gone up so much. Gives distilleries a chance to make a second whiskey in that barrel that's worth as much, if not more. I mean, let's think about this for a second. You make Yellowstone bourbon, it sells for about $40 retail. And then you take that barrel and then you create your single malt and you age it in there, and it sells for $75 a bottle. That's pretty cool when you can make a secondary whiskey that's worth even more than the first whiskey.
Correct.
That's amazing. Yeah. Because normally you're making like either selling it off for a fraction of what you paid, or you're making something like corn whiskey in there, which is not going to be worth as much as the original whiskey you made. So,
or moonshine.
Or moonshine. Mm-hmm. A moonshine. Yeah. Well, that could be. When you have the only bottle to buy moonshine, all rules are off. Yeah. You're making one that's, like I said, worth at least as much then as not more. So that's cool. Other things from Q1. What else?
Well, I think we'd be remiss not to talk about Key West and the Key West Whiskey Awards that were handed out. Some of the best ones out there. Once they hit the distilleries, you saw. I mean, those distilleries posted that stuff. They were really, really pleased. You could see the folks, the award winners, were all over that, and whether they knew it was coming or not, it didn't matter. They were all over it on social media before you even announced to everybody.
Those are some nice looking barrel heads. We've had people ask about them. We actually had some people who were in Key West around the same time. It's like, we didn't know there's this thing going on. And it's like, well, you're not invited.
Right. Yeah.
Most spirits awards, you're not invited to.
Yes. Yeah. If it's a legit spirits award, you're not going to get an invitation.
Yeah, you don't get to just go and like watch and like you're not going to like taste things. Like that's not really like how it works.
Yeah.
But we've had people ask about it and stuff too in the distillery. They're in
I saw you guys won 3. You won the most out of anybody, and they got prominent locations. They were put in spots in the distillery of honor. I'm really happy with that.
I didn't get a chance to fucking take good pictures of them yet because Royce put them up on the walls too fast.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like take some good like artistic pictures, and he fucking threw them up on the walls before I could do anything.
I was incredibly honored by everything that happened with those awards. Again, something that we started, we've been doing the Key West thing for a while. This was the first year we did awards with it. It makes sense to do those. And the amount of submissions we got, I was impressed with. And then I feel like we did a good job doing the stuff behind the scenes to get some great looking awards. So we get the medals that if you win, and then the category award winners get a barrelhead. And I feel like I've got good people designing my medals, and then I've got a good person who does those barrelheads, and it's just perfect. I think we have the best looking awards in the business. I really do. I mean, I guess I'm biased, but and the reaction of those winning them, it really means the world to me. How those have been put on a pedestal, and people have really been excited about winning. So it's fun. Yeah, really really cool.
Barrelheads they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Like they are something, and they stand out because it doesn't just say it on them. Like it's pictures on it. Like they look awesome.
Yeah. So I got a guy. If anybody needs a guy that does barrelheads, I got a guy that uses a CNC machine and a laser. So he's got both. So some do one or the other. He's into both. So, lasers are more like if you're doing it like a picture on there, and then you use the CNC if it needs to be more carved out of there. So he does that, and he puts, what I like too is he puts a thing on the back so you can hang it up. Most of them they send you a barrelhead. Well, what do you do with it? You got to come up with a way to hang that thing up. So, he does all that, and he's got a system to mail them out too, which is nice. I mean, you think, you think, well, that's not a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Somebody who handles the logistics of mailing the stuff out, that's huge. Yeah. Because most of them that are artists, they're making them. They're like, okay, you can pick them up now. Well, okay, now I got to figure out how to get these out to everybody. People in Texas won, and people in Virginia won. It's not like I'm going to be there anytime soon. So yeah. No, it's cool.
The one thing, it carried over from the last quarter of 2022, but it's as prominent and prevalent in the first quarter is Wilderness Trail and the Campari buyout.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I understand there's just a lot of loose tied. There's some loose ends not tied up yet.
Yeah.
Big purchase.
That is a big purchase. So yeah.
The wire transfer hasn't hit the accounts yet, huh?
Well, there's a couple of lawsuits pending, and so I think it's going to carry into the next quarter, to be quite honest, and so I think we need to pay attention to that one.
Yeah, we do need to watch that. I know that, and Wilderness Trail is also involved in some litigation with, they're part of that fund where they would make a certain amount of barrels and like investing in those. And again, I don't want to comment on that. I just know that there is litigation that is out there. Again, I have no thoughts on that. I'm not educated on it. I don't want to speak to it, but I know that it's out there. It's out there on the internet, so you can do some research yourself if you're interested in that. But yeah, so that is some interesting stuff that is going on in the first quarter.
That showed some light on the barrel brokering business and everything like that, and what's out there, because there's everybody trying to find whiskey. They're buying it from everywhere, and you have all these barrels. You lose track of that stuff. That's a spreadsheet exercise that is a big mistake if you don't keep track of it.
To follow the theme again, this is first quarter. The breakup of RNDC and Sazerac, and that's
a big one.
Those are two giants fighting, and you know how that stuff is. You just stand there when giants are going at it. It's different when one of the big guys is taking small. You know who's going to win because whoever has the deepest pockets. Here, I have no idea. It sounds like it's a lawyer heyday is what it sounds like. There's going to be plenty of money made off of that stuff. And I'm glad we have nothing to do with that.
Something that happened
Yeah.
locally is the announcement of the new speakeasy at the ABV Barrel Shop. Everyone that comes in there is so excited for that. That's all we talk about, seems like lately.
I do think that is actually a big thing. I think that because we're one of a kind, because of the fact that we're the only single barrel shop in the world, and people don't understand it who aren't in this business. We had people coming in from time to time that aren't really into bourbon, but they see we're a whiskey shop. They come in and they're like, "What is this? Why are you guys here? How could you make a living?" And the fact that we are doing good enough where we're getting ready to double in size and create something again new, and it's fun, and it really is a neat thing, and it shows you that what I'm proud of is the fact that it shows that we knew whiskey, we knew the market, we knew that the demand is there, and those that are in the know, people that have money and things like that, they don't know whiskey like us, and we tried to get investors and be a big whiskey store, and that didn't work. And ultimately we did what we thought we knew ultimately best, was just focus on the barrel picks, and that actually is working. And it's just I feel like at the end of it, we're going to look like geniuses because we've been able to carve out this niche where we're specialists. I feel like, when you walk into the store and Jim and I are there, we're able to talk this stuff all day long. And that's what people like. They want to come in and talk whiskey. Yeah. And that's what our store is all about. So, yeah. So
it's nice to see that the questions you're getting when people are walking in is that instead of what it was in the beginning of how would the city of Arnold let you and Jim be so close to kids with that dance studio upstairs. So that's a good sign.
Or the school across the street.
Yeah, yes. we got a school across the street, which is huge, biggest.
These guys.
And heck, we got a daycare diagonal from us. We're right in the middle of the city here for sure. So
another bit of big news was the announcement of the Mountain Distillery being sold.
Yes,
we're gonna go there. That's on my list. Yep,
for Neely. That was a very long and stressful journey for us, for my husband, and then me having a deal with my husband.
Right.
So that finally being done and being sold. I know there's a lot of people that were sad about it, and it was going to be a cool thing, but I don't think that it was something that we needed.
Right. And I'm sure it's still to this day even mixed emotions by Royce.
Yes.
And because you want to open it and it's like coming home, because again, that's going back all the way to the roots of where they're first making whiskey, and you're going to be there. And then you go through the process of finding a place, building it out and getting it ready. And then, by the way, it never opens because you get this offer that just is shocking. Yeah. And you end up selling it before it ever opens its doors. And it's kind of not what you wanted to happen. But then at the end of the day, you're like, well, based on this, I got to do this. And it's a weird thing with mixed emotions, despite the fact that, you got to be happy with how it went down. And
I will say this, just because I can say this. I have zero mixed emotions about it. I'm so happy that we sold it. I am absolutely fucking thrilled. I could not have been happier. I was hoping that something like that would happen. It did happen. I am so happy that it's sold because it was 2 hours away. I know how big of a stress it was going to be, as much as, everyone want to be like, no, it'll be fine. Like once it's open, it should be fine, easy. No, nothing's ever easy. And so I personally, for my husband's health and my sanity as well, I am so happy that we sold it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we didn't have to pursue trying to sell it. Someone came to us, and it was.
Yeah. It wasn't like you sold out. It was like this person comes to you, makes you an offer. You're like, what the hell? We got to do this.
Open it. It was, we had product there.
Yeah.
We were literally like 2 to 3 weeks away from opening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I personally am just thrilled.
It's a cool thing too, and for what it means for Neely, it eliminates all the debt that they had and everything. They're in the best, financial shape of probably anybody in Kentucky bourbon. I mean, there's nobody that's in the position Neely's in with a product that has 4 to 5 year old barrels that they're selling. The fact that they're in this great shape financially because they've sold this second business that was going to open up. I'm excited for what it means for the future of Neely. So it's
cash right now is not a bad thing to have.
Yeah. And we're putting out the new brand here, second quarter.
Yep.
Old Jet Brothers will be out.
So that's big news from the first quarter. Announced.
Announced. I say we're gonna have old Jet Brothers will be out second quarter,
which is a historic brand that you bring.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really fucking cool. And we're doing our first barrel pick with that. It's going to be released at Revival Spirits up in Covington.
Oh, nice.
They did the
first got that. That's great.
Yep. They did the very first barrel pick. They were super excited. It's going to be it's a Saltern finished. It's probably 5-year-old. I think it's a 5-year-old bourbon. I think it was 4 or 5 years old. And it is fantastic.
That sounds just Beka.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so the first release will be up there, which is, we're just really, really excited. So.
Well, there's a lot going on for nothing, for what's supposedly the slowest quarter in whiskey. There's a lot going on there, wasn't there, folks?
Yeah.
I got a couple more if you got just real quick.
Sure.
Luke, go ahead. You fire away first.
Yeah, because the last time I was on the show, I was on a quest to. It was the end of the 5-year quest of the Old Fitzgerald, and I finally got not 1 but 2 bottles.
Oh, nice.
That's Luke Otero Q1 news.
It's big news.
That's big news. Yeah.
So I've got the whole set, and plus some extras. And
Okay.
So,
That's nice.
big news.
Big news. Okay. Fair enough.
I was going to say my first one is that I lost 5 pounds this quarter, but I think that pales in comparison to Luke's. So I think there's 2 other things here that I think about. We finally got some politicians in Oregon on the hook for fraudulent sales and holding back stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's finally starting to bubble up. I thought that was a good shot for all us consumers out there and bourbon fans.
I think so too.
That's a good shot in these liquor control boards. That's good there. And then while sad that the Mountain Distillery, not as a fan of Neely, not be able to see that go and see how that thing happened there. You guys are in a better place for it. Totally get it. Watching Jason Bronner not have just one big announcement, but 2. Number 1, best bourbon bar from American Whiskey Magazine,
That's
2 years
huge.
in a row.
Again, we need to mention that for sure. Good job, Tim.
And then Whiskey Row lighting up with more participants down there with Buzzard's Roost opening up here soon. That's huge.
That is huge. That is huge. Yeah. I got to walk through there. It's going to be a cool place. Yeah.
Here's a big one, distillery side of things. The KDA is working on, and I know this is something they've been working on a lot, but I've just seen more stuff about it, but they're working on getting the barrel tax removed, the bourbon tax.
Oh, yes.
Because Kentucky's the only place in the world where they tax aged spirits that have not come out of a barrel.
Yeah.
So people that don't know that, who are listening, you get fucking taxed every single year on the alcohol that entered the barrel, not what's still in it, but what entered the barrel. So there's a tax every single year, and I think that Kentucky's making it's like $50 million every year off of just barrel tax, or there's more than that. I'm not sure what it's at now, but it's just this
no mark to market on the Angel share.
Yeah. So, and they're just, they're working on getting that, or hopefully working on getting that taken, removed, because it is a ridiculous thing that costs the small distilleries, especially, a ton of money. I mean, it costs the big guys a lot of money because they have more barrels, but it's kind of a bigger deal for the small distilleries just getting taxed on fucking barrels aging, which is insane.
Think about it too. You're running pots still one shot at a time. They're running columns still 24/7. It's a little different how operations go.
It is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, there you go.
Good show.
Very busy Q1. You probably forgot some of those things. I know I did. It was a good group here that really brought up a lot of the cool things that have been going on. We worked as a team to present to you, our listeners, a great show. So, all right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do. Now that we're done patting ourselves on the back by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures and on Facebook at Darren MacLeod.
All right, Tim.
I'm an easy guy to find on Instagram and Facebook at SwyGuy2112 and Tim Swyat on Facebook.
All right, Luke.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Santa Fe Boutique Wines, and you can find me on LinkedIn.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to watch out for, because everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Also want to remind everybody to please vote for the ABV Barrel Shop. We are up for liquor store, best liquor store in St. Louis. This is amazing to us. It's the A-list awards from STL Magazine, and you think, well, what does that even mean? It's huge. I mean, all the big brands that are icons in St. Louis, Cybergs or Ted Drew's, or you name it, Emo's Pizza, they love and covet these awards, and the fact that we're up for one of those, it means the world to me as a St. Louis guy to join, potentially join companies like that. So please help us out by voting. Instructions are in the description of this podcast. Come by and see us at the ABV Barrel Shop. At minimum, sign up for our email and text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Later.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.